You are watching 2+U Nevada. So grateful this afternoon to be out here in Wellington at the beautiful H-Bar-C Cattle Ranch. I have Ashley Evans here. She's the rancher of not only H-Bar-C, but you also started your own company, Big Dipper Sunrise Ranch. We'll get into that in a minute. We also have Cassie Oyarzun here, and Cassie is with Plumas Bank. Specifically, she does agriculture lending with Plumas Bank. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for coming out here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I have to say it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the view is amazing. We're looking at mountains right behind you. It's absolutely gorgeous out here, and this is your life.
Yep, this is where I grew up, and this is where I get to work from.
You know, I love seeing women leaders in cattle ranching, so I just have to say that at the jump. But your parents, Dick and Linda Huntsberger, they started this ranch in 1978.
Yep, that's when my dad bought his first cattle and started his own cattle operation that he's grown it into what it is today.
And that's a major feat because he has 400 head. You guys have 400 cattle, right? And 150,000 acres?
Yes, and that's all on mainly public land. So we have a lot of permits, in BLM permits and Forest Service permits that we run our cattle on.
And Cassie, it's so amazing to see the ranch lifestyle being passed on to generation and generation. We have not only Dick and Linda, but we have Ashley and her husband Tommy and their little girl Adelaide. And it's got to be such a pleasure for you to work with families like this.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure working with families like this. I love watching them transition from generations. I love watching the young people wanting to come back to the ranches and me having the opportunity to help them with that.
And you're no slouch when it comes to agriculture because you grew up on a ranch as well. You continually ranch today, and you're also an ag loan officer.
That's correct. Yep. I ranch with my family. We run cattle, and being an ag loan officer is what I do, and I get to interact with other cattle ranchers, which is always a joy.
It's got to be a joy too to help these cattle ranchers continue their operations throughout the year because we know ranching has a season.
Yep, it is. So cattle ranchers they don't receive a monthly income like everybody else. They sell their product one time a year and they get paid during that time of the year, but all the rest of the year they've got to cover their expenses. And so that's where working with a bank comes in to help. We can help them cover those expenses throughout the year until they sell their calves and make their profits.
And both of you were telling me before we started this interview, Ashley, you got an education at the University of Nevada in education. And Cassie, your parents even told you to get an education outside of ranching, just in case, right?
Right. And I originally went for elementary education, and then when I was a junior, I decided I didn't necessarily want to pursue that, but I didn't want to switch my degree because that's a lot of work. So I decided I wanted to be a rancher. So then I just started involving myself in other organizations and getting an education in not the sense of going to class, but things that I could involve myself in. And a lot of that was with the American National Cattlewomen. I was a collegiate beef advocate for them. And then for the Society for Range Management, I was the UNR's student member president. And so I tried to still get education where I could, and then eventually came back to the ranch.
You know, and I think that education really shows your drive too, because you have started your own division at H-Bar-C, or your own company called Big Dipper Sunrise Ranch. What I love about this is folks in Reno, Sparks, wherever you live in northern Nevada, you can actually reach out to Ashley and order beef direct from this gorgeous field to your kitchen table.
Yes. I actually had an article that I printed out when I was in school, and it was about diversification of ranches and how lots of families just come back and people want to come back, but there's not something for them to do. And so one of the topics was about like doing the farm to fork. And so I really wanted to do that for a long time, but it just never worked out. I was in school, then I was studying abroad, then I was teaching. And so finally in about 2020, I started the business myself. So I started my own business to sell beef direct. And now I do deliveries and yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely love that. And I think it's so important too for the community in Northern Nevada to be helping Northern Nevada ranchers. So excited. Give everyone the website that they need to go to order.
It's BigDipperSunriseRanch.com.
Super duper easy. Okay, and what I love too is you said, well, my dad's the supplier.
Yeah, so it's all cattle we raise, but I buy them from my dad and then they go into my business where I finish them out.
And then you will actually currently drive and do the deliveries wherever people are ordering?
Yeah, Reno to Smith Valley, somewhere in that range.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Ladies, thank you so much for having us out here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see what Adelaide does with the ranch.
Yep, me too.
You're watching 2 Plus U Nevada.